So we're gonna open hips, y'all. Get ready. I'm about to start the playlist. We're gonna shake off some of the day. And I want you all to also start the playlist on your end, because I'm gonna just put mine on super duper lows to make sure y'all can still hear me. But we'll be on the same page. So with whatever props that you have, hopefully using your pillows or your blanket, I want you to come up to a comfortable seated position. For me, that means I'm gonna elevate my hips. I'm gonna sit cross-legged. If your hips are especially tight and sitting cross-legged does not feel comfortable, then you can always change your props to be sort of like a little saddle and straddle them with your shins flat against the floor. Tops of your feet also grounded. And just let your pelvic floor sink into the pillows beneath you, wherever you are. Let your eyes start to float closed if they haven't already. And begin to notice the air all around you. Notice its temperature, its weight, if anything. Gravity. Notice some of the things that the air is holding, maybe some of these sound waves, the instruments in the song, and maybe even color. Maybe some colors that we can't see. Now begin to notice where the air becomes breath, your nostrils. Notice it cool on the way in and a little warmer on the way out. Filling you with life easily and effortlessly. Along the roof of your mouth and in the back of your throat. Now begin to draw the breath a little bit deeper into your chest. Inhaling, let your heart rise like it's on a string to the sky. And then exhaling, let it sink safely back into your body. Inhaling through the top side of your lungs. And then exhaling, feel your collarbones lengthen. Inhaling again, heart on the rise. And then exhale your shoulders back and down. Inhaling now, allow your rib cage to open and expand, letting your heart rise even higher out of that little rib cage. And then exhaling, allow it to close, protecting all these miracles happening in your body right now. Inhaling, let it open. And then exhaling, let your tailbone sink down into the pillows beneath you. Inhaling again, into the bottom of your lungs, almost into your kidney space. Breathe deep. And then exhale, release any tension, let your knees start to descend a little closer to the earth. Inhaling into the belly, let it expand in between your thighs. And then exhaling, start to draw the belly in toward the spine, really pressing out that last ounce of depleted air that might be clinging to you from the week. Let it all out. To inhale deeply into the belly, into the lungs, to the back, into the heart, and then exhaling completely. Inhaling again, deep into the belly, the back, the heart, and even this time up through the head. Breathe in. And then exhale in every direction. Letting your exhalation travel far, far, and farther still. We'll open our practice today with one Om, the sound of everything all at once, and a little stillness in the chaos. Breathing in together. Om. Letting that Om resonate somewhere deep within you. Gently start to release your hands back down to your thighs. Start to let your eyes flutter open. Begin to lift the corners of your mouth. Welcome. You have come to the D'Angelo Yoga Hour with me, Tara Ara. But this is still your me time. If anything feels like, no, girl, I'm not doing that, just don't do it. It's chill. You're at home. So you can come back to a comfortable seated position. You can just like watch. I don't know. You can just zone out and listen to D'Angelo. You can sing along at any time because, I mean, yeah, that's what I've been doing all week. And singing is breath work, y'all. So breathe deep and let it out. Hit the high note, hit the high note. It matters. And again, if there's anything that you guys want me to see after, I will be checking for the chat. But if you have something to jump in or questions or something that's like burning, just pop yourself off mute and holler. Okay. So with that said, let's send it on. Bring your palms to face me. And then inhale, start to lift your arms up alongside your ears. Exhaling, drop your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, reach up through your pinkies. And then exhale, both hands over to the right side, letting your left elbow sink across to your head. Inhale, left elbow up and up and up. And then exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Start to shrug the right shoulder up and exhale it back and down. Breathing in through the right side of your neck as it opens here. With your left hand serving as a weight, but not pulling. Releasing tension here around this throat chakra, this center for clear communication, self-expression, truth. Now, these things are hard right now, y'all. Mercury is retrograde. It's not a thing, but it's a thing. Shrug that right shoulder up one more time. And exhale any miscommunications that might be clinging to you with a shoulda, coulda, woulda said. And again, shrug that right shoulder one more time. This time breathing into welcome clarity and gratitude for the things that you have expressed. Inhale, gently start to sweep your arms back up overhead, leveling the chin, and rainbow them across to the opposite side. Right elbow now coming up and up and up, finding length on the right side of the body. And then exhaling right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, left shoulder shrugging up. Again, asking, what can you let go of? Maybe some of the silent moments that came up for you this week. Inhale, left shoulder shrugging up, and exhale, just a satisfaction with the ways that you have communicated, knowing that you have said enough. Inhale, and exhale. One more time with the left shoulder coming up and exhaling it back and down. Inhale, leveling the chin, sweep the arms back up overhead. And this time, interlace your fingers and then press your palms up to the sky. Inhale here, finding length, almost lifting your ribcage up off your pelvis here. And then as you exhale, start to peel your pinkies back toward your head. Inhale, reach up through the center of your palms. And then exhale, bring your ribcage back into your body. Lengthen it again. And then exhale, bring your palms to the nape of your neck here. Inhale, elbows pulling apart. And then exhale, let your head sink into your hands. Breathe in through your armpits here. And exhale, let your head be heavy. Let your little wings open wide. And feel your heart lifting as you breathe deeply here. On your next exhale, drop your chin toward your chest, draw your elbows toward each other, and feel your thumbs pressing into your index fingers, almost as if they're going to lift the skin of your head up. So you're still sitting up nice and tall here, but you're watching your heart and your body change shape as you breathe. As your elbows draw closer together, notice yourself breathing into the space behind your heart. Feel your shoulder blades pulling apart away from your spine and opening up that space for you to fill with life, more life. And then inhaling, gently start to peel your chin away from your chest. Let your elbows pull apart. Bring your palms back up to the ceiling. Reaching up through the wrist, find that length in your spine, and then release the grip and start to wind your wrist down in one direction and then the other. Beautiful. So with your palms again facing front, I want you to bring the tips of your fingers down and slowly start to pitch your chest forward to ground your fingertips, and then your fingers, one at a time, go super, super slow. Don't rush this. Each finger almost has their own needs. So try to listen to your body, listening to each finger as it approaches the ground. Find your appreciation for each one. I know I feel this way with things like my hands, like if they're not injured, I don't notice them. But when something gets cut or strained or sprained, I'm like, So get your palms eventually close. If this isn't easy or isn't happening, that's cool. It's all good. If you'd like to maybe let it be a little bit easier, you can start to bring your fingers even closer into your legs, or you can lift your butt up. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lift my butt up. And then gently start to reseat myself and let that extension really come into my hips, grounding all 10 fingers and my palms, pressing them into the floor. I want you to start to shift your weight from right to left. Just gently opening your forearms in this little bit of warming up. Getting a little bit of love into our upper bodies. A little bit of gratitude into all the things that your hands have done for you today. Those meals, if you cooked them, if you ordered them, I'm pretty sure your hands were involved. They were. Good. Right to left. And notice which side might feel a little tighter. Maybe you've been riding a bike more this week, or typing more, or texting more, whatever the case. Our hands are getting work all the time. So let them soften, give them some love. Gently start to wind your wrists out toward their respective sides, fingers fanning outward, 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 and winding them up until they're facing front. Then I want you to ground the backs of your palms just briefly for a sort of counter twist there, opening your wrists in the opposite direction. And then come on up and shake them out. Cool. Okay, okay. Beautiful. Ooh. All right, cool. So from here, I want us to all find our hands and knees. I'm going to now use this as my little blanket. Cool. So everyone, bring your pillows or your bolsters in toward your hands and knees. And we're going to have it be, oh my goodness. One moment, be right back. Thanks, gang. It's a random emergency. Appreciate you. Okay, we're here. So the bolsters are going to go right underneath your face so that if you're in your tabletop, you can have your shoulders right over your knees and your fingertips kind of slipping under the pillow. So if your knees are sensitive, you can always use your blanket, fold it at whatever distance or at whatever depth is the word. And that's going to go right under your knees. Everybody can tap out the tops of your feet. Just notice that part of your body doesn't get that much love. Good. So here, we're going to just sink into some cat-cow. So I want you to sink your heart toward the floor and inhale, lifting your head and hips. Then exhale, grounding into your hands, press your heart away from the floor. Let your head and your gaze sink in toward your knees. And then inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, rounding. And now this time, bring both of your fingertips to the top of your pillow and start to walk your hands forward. Keep walking them forward. Keep walking them forward and forward and forward until your third eye, your forehead, or your eyebrows find that bolster that's underneath you. So your hips are still high here. Your head is down. And take a moment here to feel your heart sink toward the earth. If it feels more comfortable, feel free to frame your bolster with your hands. And take a moment here to set an intention for your practice today. Maybe there's something you'd like to draw into your life. Maybe it's an idea, a person, a smile. Some characteristic or quality. Maybe there's something you'd like to continue to nurture and grow, some habit, something you've already started. some relationship, some project, something that's serving you well. Or maybe there's something else, something that you'd like to let go of entirely. Let that start today with one breath. Another moment with your intention. And one more moment with your intention. Gently start to walk your hands back in toward your legs, onto your hands and knees. And then from here, start to dip your hips back toward your heels. Make some hip circles from heel to heel, and then back up, and then back down, whichever direction, because you know we're going to switch directions. Go ahead and switch directions. Just getting them warm. And in the opposite direction. Yeah, beautiful. So here from our tabletop, hands are now framing the pillows that we have in front of us. Actually, I want you to scoot your pillows so that they're just in front of your right knee. Cool. Beautiful. So I have two today because mine, depending on the thickness and your flexibility and what you want, you can decide. I trust you. So here, tabletop once again. Start to inhale your left knee straight out to the left. And then gently from the core, start to bring it down slow. Again, inhale, bring it all the way up and out. And then this time, start to bring the left knee up toward the left elbow and then circle it back down. One more big circle like that with the left knee. Except this time, pause when the knee is at the elbow and drop that left foot near the left wrist. Beautiful. Inhale here, and then bring your hands up to your pillow. And then start to heel toe your left foot forward, about a foot length in front of where it was. And then exhale. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, start to walk your hands forward so that they're just inside of that left heel. And sink your hips down so that your right thigh is on top of that bolster that you set up in front of your right knee. Yeah. Inhale here, and then exhale. You can start to fan your left toes out to the left, maybe sinking off of your yoga mat. If this feels good, you can always let your left hand rest on that left knee, maybe allowing it to sink that left knee out a little bit more deeply. Wherever you are, feel free to drop down if this feels exceptional to your forearms. Let your head be heavy here. Inhaling gently. If you were down, start to make your way back up, pressing into your palms. Try to find a flat back sit up, maybe come into your fingertips. And then open your mouth to side out. Start to press into hands. Sink your hips back toward your back heel. Bring your hands up to your pillows now, maybe making fists, letting your knuckles ground into the pillow. But wherever you are, start to flex your left foot, bring your left toes toward your face, and let your hips sink over to the right side, sort of pulling your left hip back in space. Good, and now sway your hips over to the left side, letting that stretch sort of migrate a little bit toward the inner thigh. Yeah. Big breath in, and then exhale, rebend the front knee. Keeping your fists, maybe walking them forward a little bit. You're gonna ground into your hands and start to hover that left heel up, and then from the core, bring that left knee back around to meet the right. Cool. We're gonna move the bolsters over to in front of the left knee this time, and find yourself in tabletop. Inhaling your right knee straight out to the right, and then exhale, dropping it back down. Inhaling it out to the right, and then drawing the right knee up toward the right elbow, and then circling it back down. Letting this all come from your core. Inhale again, right knee straight out, this time circling the right knee forward, and then dropping the right foot beside the right wrist. Cool. So I'm gonna bring my fists up to my bolster this time. I'm gonna start to heel toe my right foot forward about a foot's distance in front of wherever it was. And then I'm gonna bring my hands inside that right foot. I'm gonna sit up and find a flat back however I can. But more importantly, I'm gonna exhale and let my hips sink down with my left thigh now on top of those pillows that I placed. I'm gonna come down to the palms of my hands. You can start to fan your toes out to the right. Let your right knee sink out. If that feels good, you can use your right hand to also work with that. Maybe facing that right knee or even facing away from it. That can also feel amazing. If you'd like to drop down to your forearms, feel free. Take a moment here to reconnect to the intention that you set. Mm-hmm. Feel that intention with you. Floating up to you, landing on your back like a little butterfly out of nowhere. And then floating back off into the universe for support wherever it came from. Gently start to press back into your hands. If you were down, start to make your way back up. Walk your hands back in. Fists may be coming to the pillow. And bringing your hips back toward your left heel this time, extending your front leg to straighten-ish. And flex the right toes so that your right foot is flexed. Inhale here up to flat back as much as you can, and then just surrender here, just relax. Start to draw your right hip back in space. And then exhale, swing your hips a little bit over now to the right side. Letting that stretch really migrate toward the inner thigh. Yeah. Cool. Exhale, rebend that front knee. Let your hands come down to find your supportive space. Ground into your hands wherever it feels stable. And then start to hover that right heel up and bring the right knee back around to meet the left. Cool. So now we're going to move the bolsters to the side, and we're going to find ourselves in the middle of our mat. Actually, do I want to do it like that? Yeah. In the middle of your mat. Hopefully you guys can see me okay. If it gets weird, we'll reconfigure. Let me make sure. Nope, don't know. Okay. So find your cross-legged position. This time, I want you to think about stacking your shins so that your shins are parallel to the front edge of your yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, maybe look at like the slats in the floor, if you have hard floors, or any edge that you can see as just a straight line, so that your shins are stacked on top of each other, close to parallel. Now, this is not going to be comfortable or even possible for a lot of people. If you're here because you wanted to open your hips, you good, you're cool. But I want to give this option. You're good with just a cross-legged position, and again, elevating your hips to make that a little easier. So the thing with elevating your hips is that if your pelvis is like a bowl, when we sit in a cross-legged position, the spine naturally wants to round and go concave, and the bowl of your pelvis is going to tip forward. So I want us to actively start to tip the pelvis forward. So elevating the hips really helps to accomplish that. It helps the knees to descend when the hips rise. And that's going to make it a lot more comfortable to sit in a cross-legged position in any case. So you can always think about that with ergonomics, or if you're on a strange seat and it's uncomfortable for some reason, maybe try to put a pillow underneath you to elevate your hips, especially if you have long legs. So cool. So we're in our cross-legged position. I want you to think about bringing your right leg on top. So that would be your right leg maybe in front if you're just in a regular cross-legged position, or your right leg on top if you're in this sort of square stacked position. Cool. Inhale here, bring your arms up alongside your ears. And then bring your right hand out like you're going to shake someone's hand. And then cross your left arm on top of it. And just hug yourself, because I'm not going to even deal with eagle arms. It's a lot. So just hug yourself. Yes. And then hug yourself a little tighter. Good. Inhale here. Let your elbows come up to about shoulder height. Breathe into the space that's opening behind your heart right now. Breathe into this opening that's happening in your hips right now. Flexing both of your feet, noticing any tension that arises. And if it's too much, just back up off of it. However you got into it, come on back. Just know that it's still yoga. Just keep breathing and it's still yoga. And this is an act of self-love, radical self-love, and radical collective care for all of us to be here together right now. And you're doing it. You're doing it right now. So thank you. Thank yourself. Inhale, elbows up. And then exhale, start to bow forward, bringing your elbows as far forward as you can. Maybe letting your elbows drop toward the floor, or maybe even touching the floor, or grabbing a hold of one of your pillows, or two of your pillows, putting them right in front of you, still with your elbows stacked on top of one another, and then drawing your elbows down so that you can relax and release in this pose. Inhale up, try to find a flat back, lengthen your spine, try to bring your elbows maybe forward a little bit, and then exhale, rounding. Inhale slowly, one vertebrae at a time, start to peel yourself back up. Inhale, arms coming wide apart. And then exhale, crossing the opposite arm on top. Inhale, bring them out. Exhale, right arm under. Inhale, bring them out. Exhale, left arm under. Inhale, bring them out. And this time, use your hands to grab a hold of your right ankle. And just start to elevate the right knee and let the foot sort of just slide off the knee to cross a little bit deeper. Cool. Try to keep both of your hips grounded evenly here. If this feels like nope, 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 then you can always just stay in your cross-legged position. If this feels good and you feel like you maybe want to take it a little bit deeper, I want to ask you to start to shift your left leg to cross a little bit deeper so that maybe your knees end up feeling a bit stacked on top of each other for what we call cow pose. So your knees are stacked, they're sort of in these. If you look down at them, your heels might feel sort of on a parallel plane. Wherever you are, if your knee is still up, this is a nice middle ground. Inhale your left arm up, and then exhale to cross your body like a seatbelt. So that left elbow is outside of your right knee. With your right hand, I want you to ground it in the space behind your tailbone, fingers facing away from you. And then lean back into that right hand to sit yourself up nice and tall. Exhaling for even longer than you inhale. Start to draw that right shoulder back in space. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, right shoulder sinking back. Inhale here and exhale deeply. Imagine your exhalations traveling again, far. How far can they reach? Where will they go? These breaths that we have. Inhale both arms up and exhale them now to the opposite side, outside of your left hip. Let yourself sink into it, bowing into this counter twist. And then grab a hold of your right ankle once again. Slide it around to the back of your body so that your right knee is cradled in sort of the arch of your left foot now. Cool. Okay, beautiful. So now I want you to grab a hold of your bolsters. Place them just outside of your left hip, almost sort of just perpendicular. So it's like just straight to the side of your body. Cool. Now, pivot your torso to face the pillows. Let your hands frame the pillows. Now you might scoot your sit bones around a little bit here, but you're gonna get the same benefit. So inhale here, find length in your spine, and then gently start to walk your hands down, framing the pillows, letting first your rib cage find them, and then letting your heart sink into these pillows for this deep twist. You can ground your right cheek onto the pillow or your left, whatever feels good. Inhale, gently pressing up. Good. Now, I'm not sure how you guys are oriented on your mat, but I want you to bring both of your knees up and start to ground both of your heels on the outer edges of your yoga mat. Cool. So this time, again, let both of your knees sink over to the left side. And then bring your bolster back so it's almost more behind your tailbone here. Cool. So both of your knees are over, and now bring them back up. Cool. So we're going to do that, but we're going to recline this time. So with the bolsters now behind your tailbone, I want you to just start to recline first to your elbows, and then all the way back. And then let both of your knees sink over to the left side. You can always use your left foot on top of your right knee to weigh it down, twisting yourself into this hip opener deliciously. Take a moment here to reconnect to the intention that you set at the beginning of class. Except this time, I want you to understand that intention as if it's already happened. It's done, and you did it. It's done because you did it. It's happened. Do you breathe differently now that it's done? Are you kinder now that you've done it? You speak differently. Do you feel proud of yourself? So many things conspired for you to have this done, but it's done. And it was once just an idea. You feel more powerful now that it's done and you've done it. You feel more relaxed. Hold on to those feelings and then let your intention gently float off into the universe. You can pick up your knees and gently start to let them float over to the opposite side. Then using your right heel on top of your left knee, serving as a weight. And here I'd like you to take a moment just to acknowledge all the things that you have now, things that you are right now, the things that you've done already that you once could only dream of. You've done it. You've become it. It's happened. So why shouldn't it happen again? Why shouldn't your dreams come true? Keep dreaming. Keep envisioning this new reality, this new way of being for yourselves, for each other, for our communities. We need it. We need our imaginations in this. Let yourself feel empowered. Let yourself feel proud. Love yourself a little more. Let yourself breathe differently, or speak differently, or be kinder. Gently start to lift your knees back up. And then we're going to bring that pillow, the bolsters, start to come on up to your elbows. Move your bolster now to the outside of your right hip. So I can't quite demo this because I'm just on a weird angle, but I'm going to try. Okay, cool. So now your left knee is cradled in the in the arch of your right foot. And the bolsters are now just outside of your right hip. I want you to twist toward the bolster, your heart facing it. Let your hands frame the pillows. And then start to walk your hands forward so that your lower ribs find the pillows and then your heart. Maybe letting your left cheek find the pillows as well as you twist deeply into this. Exhaling, let your heart melt down. Sometimes you just have to let D'Angelo rock, you know? Press into your hand and gently come on back up. This time, bringing your left knee back up, hugging it in toward your chest, and then dropping that left foot to the outside of your right knee. Mm-hmm. Good. Inhale your right arm up alongside your ear. And then exhale it across your body like a seatbelt, bringing the right elbow outside of that left knee with your left hand coming right behind your tailbone. Pressing into the left hand to sit yourself up nice and tall, stretching your spine, lengthening it, and then exhale, drawing the left shoulder back in space. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, left shoulder drawing back. Again, lengthening, inhale. And then exhaling, wring yourself out like a wet rag. Anything that's no longer serving you, let it just drip off of you and melt into the earth. Let it be a seed that you water with any of those painful emotions. Let them serve a purpose. Let them water the seeds of our intentions, y'all. Anything that's no longer serving you, whether it's negative self-talk or outside forces. Those things don't belong to you. Those narratives, those stories. Where can you soften now? Gently inhale both arms up alongside your ears and rainbow them across to the opposite side. Let yourself bow into a counter twist here. And then grab a hold of the left ankle and start to sort of unravel yourself into a seated position once again, with either your left leg in front in a cross-legged or left leg on top if you're stacking with your shins again parallel to the front edge of your yoga mat, which is going to be more intense for the hip opening. Flex both feet, so that's going to keep your ankles really strong here. Beautiful. Inhale here and lift your arms up alongside your ears. Exhale, let your left arm come out like you're going to have an awkward lefty handshake. And then cross your right arm on top of it. And then give yourself a nice hug. Hug yourself a little tighter, just because. Feel your hand on your skin. And then let your hands feel yourself held. Inhale, elbows coming up here. Find your back elongated, and then exhale, start to draw your elbows forward and forward and forward, curving your spine. And maybe dropping your elbows to the ground. Good grief. I might need to let yourself surrender here. Okay.
Let's see if this can work.
I don't think okay. Apologies if my phone dies. This is technical difficulties. Gently start to roll yourself back up one vertebrae at a time. Extend your arms and lengthen them. And then hug yourself again. Extend your arms and lengthen, open. And then switch which arm was on top and hug yourself again. Hug yourself like you mean it. Open wide. Welcome the fruits of your intention, and then hug yourself again. Welcome it in. Inhale, open wide. And exhale. Inhale, open it up. And then inhale, arms up. And exhale, bring them right back down. Good. So we're going to start to find ourselves in Shavasana. I want you to come to the center of your mat Hug your knees in toward your chest and just let yourself roll back along one side of your spine and then the other. Massaging these huge muscle groups that we have lining our spine, keeping us upright all the time. Let yourself roll back and forth. Mm-hmm. And then let yourself find yourself on your back. Mm-hmm. Hug your knees in toward your heart. Let your head come up to meet your knees as close as you can. Let yourself be small, a tiny seed of yourself. And take a moment to honor the intention, that tiny seed of yourself, and acknowledge how it can sprout into something bigger and more beautiful than you can even imagine. The tree. The seed never sees the tree, though. What will your intention become as you continue to water it and nurture it? Let it be bigger, let it bear fruit. Extend your legs and sprout yourself into Shavasana. Final relaxation pose. Let your palms come to face the sky. Let your heels descend. Let your ankles melt and be heavy. Release any tension that you feel in the back of your knees. Let your hips be heavy with love. Let your shoulders really melt into the earth here, as if there's warm mud beneath you, really holding you. Relax your forearms. And let your hands fill with like warm sand sifting through your fingers. Relax your neck, your jaw. Relax your tongue and lips. Let your eyes sink a little deeper into your head. Let your ears sink a little closer to the earth. And let everything go. Ask yourself now, how does it feel in your beautiful body? Begin to notice the air all around your body, touching your skin and becoming breath. Let the breath fill you up easily and effortlessly, bringing life into your fingers and toes, into your ankles and wrists. When you're ready, start to stretch your body long, right leg long, left leg longer, arms overhead alongside your ears. And then bringing your knees in toward your chest, let yourself roll over to one side, stacking knee on knee, ankle on ankle, into a sort of fetal position. Then place your hands on the ground in front of your heart and bring yourself up back into a comfortable seated position. When you arrive, keep your eyes closed here. Let your palms come to touch and bring your palms touching to the heart center with your thumbs pressing into your chest and your fingers spread out wide to receive, amplify, and project all of this amazing energy that is swirling all around you right now. Let your chin drop to your chest and take a moment to thank yourself for coming to practice tonight. Take a moment to thank your body for serving you so well all these years, tonight, but always. Taking you everywhere you've ever been, giving you every gift you've ever received, every delicious taste, all your favorite smells. And this body is constantly healing, even right now. Now find one more thing to be grateful for. Gratitude is so amazing. As soon as we make a little time and space for it, it rushes in like a flood. You can never just think of one thing to be grateful for. So keep this gratitude practice with you. We'll close our practice today with one silent Om. Just inhaling with the happiness that gratitude so often brings. Breathing in. The light and love that is me sees and knows and honors the light and love that is you. Namaste.